Hey guys, I know it's been a little while, but here we are, I'm streaming again like I should be. I'm such a coward. I realized that never sent out my links. Usually I have those like ready to go, but I didn't this time. Sorry guys. I'm gonna be working on this page today, so I'm actually gonna show you guys what page I'm gonna be working on. I'm gonna be working on this page today. I've got 4 panels left that I gotta do. I'm gonna try to get these 2 done tonight, and then I'll probably take like a quick break or go to bed and finish these 2 tomorrow for another stream. So I'm trying to. So I'm really bad about slacking in terms of like my streaming and stuff because I'm such a coward. Such a baby when it comes to streaming. I'm like, I want to be a streamer, and then doesn't stream. It's just, oh my goodness. Discord, come on. What? Oh, I put it in the wrong channel. That's why. Sorry, for this particular channel, like it doesn't, like there are some that go automatically, but this one doesn't. If I have online, if I'm not online, it doesn't go out. Sorry guys. I just always make sure my links have gone out. But, okay, here we go. Oh, of course I get messages. Oh, I want to go live. Like I always get a bunch. It's like, oh hey, it's time to go live, and then everyone's like, it's time to message Cat. So, but yeah, I am a little bit later. I had a friend I needed to talk to, but they needed some advice or whatever, so I was giving them my full attention, as friends do. As friends do. She's been through like so much this year. I feel bad for her. So I'm gonna be working on today. First is this this little shrine thingy. I'll work on that first. Hopefully y'all can hear me okay. Just thought about that. Let's see when I'm talking. Oh, maybe you guys can hear me. Turn the music down a little bit. There we go. Hopefully it'll be easier. Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Let's see. I wonder if I could take some of the fire from this other panel and make like the top of that shrine more interesting looking. Let me see. I would wager I totally could. Let's do that. Let's see. Can I snag this really quick? Yeah. Alright, so copy. Now we got your hanging over here. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead and delete this. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a little circle here, just a little one. Let's see, is there anything else on this layer? Oh yeah, I started the stairs on this layer. So what I'll do is I'll set it to white. That way you won't be able to see it. Actually, let's just set it to black. I'll just make this easy. Set it to black. Let me center it. Okay, center. I'll make a new layer and then Control V for the fire. I'm gonna drag it over. It's a lot of fire. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shrink it down. And then I'm just gonna grab like a little section of it. Because this fire is way more interesting to look at than the other one. So let's find a section that looks really cool. Oh, this is the one that I merged. Man. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find a part of it then. Like a big chunk. If I have to just grab like a tail and then edit, I can do that. And I can also mix and match too. So let's see, I need a part that I can take apart and use for decoration on this little orby thing at the top there. That's basically what I'm looking for. I think this part will be okay. So I'm gonna snag that part. You guys will see what part I mean here in a second. I want this part right here. So I'm gonna snag that. Control V that. That way I'm not like destructing anything. Been studying. Hang on. Oh, chat. Let me see. So I've been studying modeling to make my own CGI comic series. There is legit no information on it. Do you mean like using 3D models for a comic for 3D modeling? What are you 3D modeling in? There's not a lot of information for doing like comics made from 3D models because that's not typically done very often. That's not something a lot of people do. And like, to be kind of frank, a lot of people don't like that. It's not a it's definitely not a comic format that I see a lot. I think if you do like really, really beautiful 3D models, like, dude, that would look sick. That would look so cool. But can you hear me okay? Should probably type that out. But yeah, that's not something that I see done very often. And like, to be honest, like the few times I have seen 3D models used for comics, they did not look very good. But I think it was because a lot of people didn't, like, their models were just stiff. It's not that the models were bad, it's just like the models were too stiff, like they weren't like... No, you're good, you're good. I just wanted to be sure, because I had to take my laptop to the library with me, and so I just wanted to be sure when I like hooked everything back up, it was still good. It's like the one downside about me is that like, I'm always having to like hook stuff like back up, and so I'm always scared that like something's not gonna work. I'm always like, oh man, I'm gonna break it. So usually it's just me making sure that everything works. Miso, there's no room in my lab for you. There is none. No. I'm sorry, hon. There's no room up here for you. I've seen quite a few of them, and like they never look good. And it's not that they're bad. It's just like they're not refined enough as far as 3D models go, and they're too stiff. So I think if someone can like really make them like really well done and really make them articulated very well and like texture them really good and add good coloring, good UV mapping, then I think like it could totally be done. It could totally be done. It would look great. But yeah, it would definitely depend. I'm actually gonna shorten this one. Actually, I'm just gonna delete that. I'll just redraw it. Oh yeah, Blender is really good. My leg! My leg! Oh, what happened? Okay, I got a notification from something. What happened? What? Is it work? Is it work related? Yes. Always when I start streaming. Okay, every time I start streaming, I get pinged for work. I'm salary, so I'm technically on gold 24/7. Oh, okay, it's just okay. It's fine. It's just the new guys saying hi. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I get pinged for work, and I'm like, "What do you want from me?" I don't want any. Oh, what do you want? Get off my lawn. Okay, what's on this? Nothing. Alright. Okay, so now I gotta fill this up. Dun, 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 dun. Oh wait, I messed up. I'm supposed to fill it. Oh, that's why. I was missing a whole... I was like, why does my screen look so weird? Just temporarily while I color this in. Should be nothing on this layer. Good. Alright, I'm gonna fill it with white. I'm gonna show you guys a trick. Watch this. Yoop. Yoop. I'm just gonna fill in real quick. Actually, this one should work. This thing should work. You set this as a reference layer. And view. No, it didn't work. Dang it. Poor K. Why you do this? Ah, that's fine. I'll just do it myself. Fine. Whoa, why does it look so anti-aliasy? Gross. Why? My anti-alias on? God, that looks awful. What is this line quality? Nonsense. Why does it look so gross? Do they all look... This is a G-pen. This should be like the smoothest. Oh, it's because I'm zooming in a little. That's why. Okay. I was about to say I hold my anti-alias thing on. Dude, Shauna, what's up? How are you? I haven't spoken to you, like, since our birthday last year. How are you? How are you doing? Okay, it's gonna get noisy for a second. I'm just opening a can of soda. Excuse me? Gomen nasai? Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Tastes like a gingerbread cookie. So I had a friend recommend a soda to me. It's called Olipop. I'll type it out for you guys. It's called Olipop, and it tastes like a ginger snap. That's what it tastes like. I know! Hi, Miso. Okay, fine. You can be in my lap, but there's not a lot of room up here, Miso. There's not a lot of room up here. Oh, a ginger snap? A ginger snap is a type of cookie. It's like a gingerbread cookie. So I guess that'd be a better way to put it. Is it tastes like a gingerbread. What? My phone. That's what that was. Oh, it's just Twitter. It's just Twitter. Oh, I don't know. I hadn't heard of it either. I had a friend mention it, and they're like, you should try this out. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, hang on, let me catch up the chat. I missed a bunch. One second. I only decided to pick up Blender because I was like, oh yeah, I can use these for backgrounds when making my comic series, but then I got interested to the point of trying to learn 3D animation. I'm so sorry. 3D animation is so much work. Miso, no. Miso, no. I cannot have you stealing my arm away from the keyboard. If you're gonna be in my lap, you have to be a good girl, and you have to be quiet, and you have to be chill. I will kick you out of my lap. I will not actually kick you, but I will put you on the floor. Is that understood? I don't even have room for you up here. I'm having to inconvenience myself so that you and the tablet will fit. Silly cat. Just work. You know that stupid manga I was working on way back when in Colorado? It was called Nor or something. Still working on it. I'm still not done with chapter 1. I think I've redrawn it. I think I've redrawn chapter 1 like 4 times since I left Colorado. So I'm still working on it. Oh man, that's what this is. This is the revamp. This is the revamp of it. Like all these years later, still working on chapter 1. Still doing it. I'm so lame. But it's still chapter 1. Like, I mean, I've redrawn chapter 1 like 4 times since I left Colorado. Yeah, dude, like I've noticed that a lot of people from the Red Team Go group just like gave up. They just gave up or just like, and they split up. Like the whole, like I've heard the whole RTG group is like no more, which is really depressing. I was hoping to like get back together when I went to go visit Colorado, but we'll see. Yeah, I heard it was from a certain someone that we all knew was a little bit of a ego, to put it lightly. Yeah, I still have like my Red Team Go stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I heard all about it from Norin. So guys, in case you didn't know, Shauna Mora, she, you are she, right? I always like to double check. Shauna is a friend of mine from Colorado. We were both part of like the same like comic collaborative. When I was living in Colorado, it was like a Denver, Colorado sort of like comic collaborative, and we'd like go to cons and we'd share tables together and we would do projects together. Like that's basically how I know Shauna. And by the way, guys, we have the same freaking birthday. I don't know if it's down to the year, but we have the same birthday. And so whenever like Facebook, like whenever our birthdays roll around on Facebook, we always like make sure to like say happy birthday to each other on our profile pages. But yeah, like that's how I know Shauna. And you just moved back from Cali, I think. Yeah, it was a really cool, it was a really cool group. It was really awesome. Okay, 2 years younger, okay. I wasn't quite sure what, like, because I knew it was really close. I knew we were really close in terms of age. I couldn't remember if it was exact or just really close. I'm such a goldfish, man. That's not changed. Dude, same. I went out to Colorado. I went out to California in 2018, and I ended up having to move back. It wasn't because like I wanted to. It was too expensive, and I lost my job and where I was living literally in the same moment. Like literally the same second I lost both, because I was working in the bar that I was living right above, and I lost my employment. And because I lost technically I didn't lose it. Technically, I ended up sacrificing it by accident. Long story. So like, yeah, I had like nowhere to go. Because of the circumstances, I never got my last paycheck, and like it wasn't like worth like going after. So I was like, I got $300 in my pocket, and like a train ticket to Omaha, because I lived at the time. My mom was in South Dakota, so it was like a train ticket to Omaha is like $280. Let's go back to South Dakota. Really? Man, that sucks. Yeah, Cali is a place that, unless you're in Los Angeles or Sacramento or San Fran, it's super hard to live without a car. And even then, like, well, I mean, transportation wasn't that bad. Going from LAX to, like, Little Tokyo was only an hour, but that's still, like, an hour each way that you have to accept losing. And depending on what time you start and where you live, like, it's really hard to, like, to go to work and stuff. I know, because I was out in LA doing an internship, and I always had to, like, get on the extra early bus just to be sure I was always there on time, because the other bus usually got there on time, but if it was ever late, like, I'd be late to work. So, I feel you. It's tough. No, there are no trains in South Dakota, unless they're like, the only trains that go through South Dakota, none of them are passenger trains. As far as I know, the nearest train to South Dakota as far as passenger trains, is one in North Dakota in Fargo, and then Omaha, which is in, Nebraska. So, either way, you have to drive at least 5 hours to get to a train. Like, it's at least a 5-hour drive to a train, no matter which direction you go. But yeah, there's no passenger trains in South. I think there's a light rail in Rapid City, I think, but that's it. But it stays in Rapid City. It doesn't go outside Rapid City. If it does, it's not very far. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of one of those places where you almost have to have a job in advance. But then, like, so many of those places, they don't offer relocation assistance. And then they're like, oh, like, you have to have a job to get an apartment. You have to get an apartment to get a job. And it's like, Dude, the American transit system is awful as far as, like, going from state to state to state. Really, the only way to travel, like, state to state without a Greyhound bus, I think that's it, is Amtrak. And Amtrak doesn't hit all the states. Sometimes what you have to do is you have to travel most of the way. Sometimes you have to travel part of the way by bus. And then you have to travel the rest of the way by Greyhound or by Amtrak. Like usually going from state to state is usually a mix of buses and trains. Yeah. Usually it's a mix. Miso, stop touching my stuff. When I went from South Dakota like to Omaha, even just Omaha, it was a train ride all the way to it was a train ride to Sacramento, and then I had to get on another train to go from Sacramento to LA, and then from LA station I had to get on a bus to go to my hostel, and the whole trip was about 72 hours from Omaha. That's not counting the 5-hour car ride down. So if you count the car ride down, it was 77 hours to go from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, all the way to my hotel in Los Angeles. The problem with flying is it's even more expensive. So like the train ride plus the bus fare from Sioux Falls to LA was, counting my luggage, it was about $320. But to fly, you'd be looking at like $500 to $700, depending on the time of year and how early you buy in advance. So it was way cheaper just to take the train and get there in 3 or 4 days versus like 3 or 4 hours. Flying is super expensive. Even just within the United States, it's really expensive. It's like half a paycheck, depending on how far you're going. To go from South Dakota to Denver was only about $200. know it. I just moved. I moved from South Dakota to Florida, and then I moved from Florida to Tennessee, and just the gas alone for both of those was over $1,000. Yeah. Yeah, like travel in the U.S. can be affordable if you have the time to give to it. Like, not everyone has 72 hours to travel from one state to another. You know, I had to, you know, quit my job early just so that I could have time to get there. And then have time to get there and get, like, situated and get acquainted with my, you know, new surroundings and stuff. $17. It depends on how far you're flying. I mean, keep in mind that South Dakota to Los Angeles is like 1,500 miles. So it's like half the country. It's really, really far. Hey Dustin, what's up? I don't know. So you always have to consider like how far apart it is. Like, I can literally drive a car from South Dakota to Los Angeles and it will take me like at least 2 days. At least 2 days. Yeah, gas is absolutely insane. To and from Florida? Ooh, gosh. Yeah, yikes. Yeah, Florida's expensive as hell. Super expensive. Almost as bad as Cali. Yeah, it's bad. It's pretty bad. Like, well, the problem is a lot of people from California are moving to Cali. And so what happened to Colorado when weed became legalized is what's happening to Florida now. Like, it's literally going through Californication. Just like it did before. Just like Colorado did. So, like... And Tennessee is having the same problem now. So... there's no escape. Super Californication. What's the reason? Because of the whole COVID thing and prices. Because Florida, like, didn't really want to shut down and they didn't want to do the mask mandating and stuff, like, a lot of people and businesses moved to Florida. And so, yeah, that's like... It's not... No. California does not ruin everything. California ruins a lot of things, but California has a lot of things right. But there's a reason why it alone is the 5th largest economy in the world. There's a reason for that. I mean, part of it's because of everything that's in California, especially like Hollywood and movies and Beverly Hills, like all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff in California. It's also one of the biggest states. So like, yeah, there's a lot of things in Cali. It's not a perfect state by any means. Like, there's a lot of things wrong with it, but there's a lot of things that it's doing right. So... Really? Huh, I didn't realize that either. California's like a beautiful train wreck. It's something you know is on fire, but you can't help but appreciate it. Well, it's also that, and like our industry, like the whole comics industry is in California. Like, there are so many publishers in California. So like it is the place to be. Plus all the conventions that are in California, all the conventions that are along the West Coast, and the majority of them are the best ones. So, like, that's the place to be for what we do. And that's why I was trying to move out there, is, like, that's the place to be. but it's just so damn expensive. Yeah. Yeah, it's just too many people. Which is a bummer, really. I'm still trying. Like, I'm still working on it. Honestly, like, I wouldn't be opposed to trying again. It's just trying to, like, find the money to do so. Because it's a huge gamble and it's so expensive out there. It's a big gamble. And I failed the first time already, so I'm not sure if I want to, like, take that risk a second time, you know what I mean? Here's my screen. Actually, I'm gonna make this its own layer because I'm gonna do some erasing. I hate doing stairs. Fuck, I hate doing stairs. Let's do the bigger ones first. Straight line. Now we'll just take it and move it up. Way to increase your layers really fast, just saying. I'll merge them all later. Let's see. Anyways, I gotta balance. Do you live stream regularly? I'm trying to live stream more often. That's probably one reason why it's been hard. I am going to be starting streaming more often. I'm just a big coward. I'm afraid to stream because I feel like I'm boring. So the answer is yes. I'm definitely attempting to stream more often. And as far as the time, it varies. Usually it's around like 8 or 9 central. I started later today for other reasons. But yeah, usually I've not been streaming regularly. I did for a while, but when I started moving and getting unstable and stuff, I stopped streaming regularly. So yes, but no, but yes. Yes, but no, but totally yes. Take it easy, Shauna. Don't work too hard, okay? Me so stupid. Yeah, take it easy. Don't work too hard now. Start making it a little thinner. I'm kind of just eyeballing it, to be honest. So we'll see how it goes. Misa seems to be doing better. Yeah, she's definitely doing better. She still has, like, some hives and like some skin issues as far as like her the flea situation is going, and it might take a while for her skin to kind of like recover a bit. But other than that, she's doing fine. She really scared me there for a little bit, but she's doing alright now. See, you know what? I'm gonna become a publisher, and we're going Red Rock Comics. Well, our comics gonna be red and white. Color printing is expensive, man. Hope you're ready for color printing prices. Color printing, color printing. Hope you like losing money. So many stairs. Oh my goodness. I'm just being honest. All them layers and none of them named. None of these bad boys are. What? None of these bad boys are named. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time to name every single one of them. Got time for that? Nobody got time for that. Certainly not me. I need a friend who can banter about comics with, because I'll be sitting here with ideas wanting to talk about them. And no one got time to banter about stuff anymore. Ain't nobody got time for that now. Let's see. Stairs, baby, stairs. I feel like that line is too high. There's not enough lines, so it's wrong one. This one. Doop doop a doop. Like, the biggest thing that I'm learning in manga is, like, it's okay to leave a lot of information out, because, like, our eyeballs will do it for us. I think that's the biggest thing that I'm learning. Is that it's okay to leave a lot of information out. I'm just so used to, like, perfecting everything, because I'm just used to, like, doing, like, crazy, insane line art. And it's like, chill, cat, God, it's okay. I must be perfect. Who decided being an adult was cool? Adults. Like, that's suspicious, isn't it? I'm an adult, and I'm gonna say that adulting is cool because I want to make money off of people. Okay, so this corner. Being an adult is cool is a falsehood believed by children. Stay a kid as long as you can. See, that's where I win. Because, like, I love being a kid, and I act like a kid every day. I stopped being a kid 9 years ago. Well, if we're gonna count 18, I stopped being a kid 12 years ago. So, ha. Alright, stopped. Alright, I've been a kid. I'm 18 with 12 years experience on top. I'm just a really smart 18-year-old. Whoa. Goodness, that soda is something else. Woo! That soda gave me the shudders. Holy shit. Damn, that stuff. Woo. I literally shuddered after drinking that soda. It's not bad, it's just spicy. I was not expecting it. Here, I'll show you guys what I'm drinking. I had a friend recommend it to me. It's this one. It's so strong. It's literally like drinking a ginger snap. Like someone took a ginger snap, like a boatload of them, and like melted them all down, added some carbonation, and there you go. And it's not bad. Like if you like ginger and you like ginger snap cookies or like snickerdoodle cookies, like it's a good soda. It's just like, holy. It needs to be drank cold. Like you can't do room temperature with this one. It's gotta be cold. Like the warmer it gets, the worse the bite is. Like I'd never seen like a botanical soda before. Cause like I like botanicals. Like I like trying botanical wines and like herbal wines and like I've never had absinthe and I probably never will, but like I like botanicals and like really bizarre things. And I like soda, so like I'm gonna try this. And I couldn't believe it says that this soda has 9 grams of fiber. Like what? No way. Now I believe it. Now I believe it. Damn. Wait, let me double check it. Yeah, it says it has 9 grams of dietary fiber. 9 grams of fiber, 12 grams of carbs, 2 grams of sugar. No shit. It's not very sweet. It's not sweet at all. It's not sweet at all. Prebiotics, botanicals, plant fiber, vintage cola, sparkling tonic. Today's sponsor is... Oh, and it's non-GMO. It's paleo-friendly, vegan, and gluten-free. I might buy more of it. I might try other flavors too. It has other flavors. There's like a cherry vanilla one I want to try. I don't want to try the root beer. I'm scared to try the root beer. I saw it and I was like, y'all, I'm afraid to try this one. Because it'll probably taste gross. Like, I like root beer, don't get me wrong, but root beer is really hard to get right when it's like old school. I want to try the strawberry vanilla and the cherry vanilla. I think those sound great. I hate grape. I hate grape soda. Grape soda is like the worst. No, I haven't tried dry sparkling soda. But I'm totally game to try it if I can like get a hold of some. Like I love trying vintage soda. There was a Pepsi that Pepsi put out, and it was like the original cola from like the 1800s, and like oh my god, it was so good. Like this reminds me a lot of it. And I thought it was so good, and I've never seen it again. This was years ago that I saw it. So it says here, so here's the flavoring it says for this one. Notes of cinnamon, vanilla, and caramel. Our old style cola evokes both new and familiar, gently lifting the spirits with a mix of green tea caffeine and alpha gallicanol extract. I don't know what that is, but okay. And like, its ingredient list is pretty long. Chicory root, that's what I'm tasting. Dude, there's an artichoke in this. Let's see. Chicory root, Jerusalem artichoke, kudzu roots, cassava fiber, cassava syrup, marshmallow roots, slippery elm bark, noble cactus. Oh, I thought I tasted prickly pear in there. Candula, apple juice, lime juice, cola flavor, pink rock salt, cinnamon, cassia cinnamon, dairy-free caramel, vanilla bean, alpha galangal root, green tea caffeine extract. That's all that's in it. And as far as sugar, it's stevia. That's what the sugar is it's stevia. That's all that's in here. There's no like, oh, and this syrup, the cassava syrup. Cassava. Oh man. I love lavender. There's like a lavender sparkling drink. I forget who makes it. It's like Ginny, like Gentimans or something, and it's so good. I love elderflower too. I love elderflower stuff. I also have a rose wine. Like, it's not a rosé. It's a rose flavored wine. I had to read it twice because I was like, is it a rosé or is it rose flavored? And it's rose flavored. So I'm like, okay. I've had rose flavored lemonade, and it was fantastic. So like, I'm gonna try rose wine, and we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty skeptical, but I'm always willing to try new things. I like to think of myself as pretty open-minded. Yeah, there's some weird stuff, man. Some weird stuff. But hey, I like to try new things, and if I find something that's really good, like, I'll keep buying it, and I'll tell my friends about it, so... I thought that was a little funky. I guess I could put a reflection thing on, but I don't want to. Oh, I just realized this was supposed to go out further. Yeah, that's why I double check with stuff like that. No, that's why I make like 50 million layers when I'm inking, is it so that I can easily transform things. And like if I have to merge stuff later, like I can merge stuff later. It's not a big deal. And like that's why my layer counts get so high, is like it'll usually like reference whatever the first layer was or whatever the newest layer was and then go higher. So like it says that there's 180 layers, but there really isn't 180 layers. There's probably closer to like 90. Because I merge a lot of them as I go. And I'm like, oh, there's 90 layers. And for most people, they're like, oh my god, so many layers. I'm like, yeah, but look at how many drawings I have to do. Look at how many drawings I have to do. I have a lot of drawings I have to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 illustrations I have to do. You do 10 illustrations with less than 100 layers and tell me how it goes. And I don't like merging all my line art into one layer until I'm done and like I know it's done. Even then I don't usually merge it because I use things like clipping masks and other things to like make the flattening process a lot easier, and it's hard to do that when you have so many different layers. When you have like your line art all in one layer, it makes it almost impossible to like just select certain things. Yeah, like a lot of my stuff's gonna be merged later. Oh my gosh. I've been drawing my whole life, yet when it comes to drawing my manga, I can't, even though I've been perfecting the plot for so long. Man, sometimes you just, dude, I'm sorry, I don't know if you're dude, I'm sorry, I should ask first. Dude for me is universal, and I forget sometimes that some people don't like the word dude. Anyway, when it comes to drawing your manga, I've had the same problem. I've restarted this manga 7 times. 7 times! For just chapter 1. I've drawn chapter 1 7 times. This is my 7th time drawing chapter 1. And I've kind of realized that, as someone who has started a bazillion times, sometimes you just gotta start, you just gotta go. Just do it! Because you're not gonna get any younger. Not gonna get any younger. But also, like, it's okay to wait. Like if your style is just really not where you want to go, that's fine. But then try to like find something else to do in the meantime, so like you can stay productive and not just like stay stuck on the same project for like 12 years like I have. I literally have done almost no other projects other than this one. I've literally screwed myself over. Because I have like nothing to show for all my time. I'm just kidding. I've done other things. Not many. The best thing you can do for yourself is to just kind of just be like, you know what? It's time to do it. Let's do it. Just do it. You'll get there. I know that's like really not super helpful advice, but that would be my suggestion. Is to like just get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm not ready for it, but yet like also like another option is work on smaller projects like one shots or there it goes. Work on smaller projects like one shots or something else to kind of help you like perfect your manga skills until you're ready for like the project. That's another option too. And that's what I did. As I worked on a different project until I was ready for this one. And it's paid off, for sure. Like, I'm really happy with where this one is going now, and it took me 12 years to get here. So... But anyway, thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. How are you doing? At some point, you just kind of just gotta, like, grin and bear it and just go. And see, I've not even been drawing my whole life. I've only been drawing about 12 years. So I started a lot later than a lot of other people. Yeah. Just gotta take the risk and go. Just go do it. Get her done. But if you can find something else to do in the meantime, you can like stay productive while you're learning. And that's why I tell people, like, the biggest piece of advice I can give anybody is to start a project now. It doesn't have to be your final project or like your big magnum opus. Like, just start a project. If it's like 5 pages, 10 pages, whatever. Start with smaller manga. Because a lot of people, they try to do like this really big manga that's like gonna be like 20 volumes and like thousands of pages. And like they start getting into it and they see like how much work like a manga actually is. And they just like shut down. Like they get nervous, they get scared, or they get overwhelmed. And it's like, no, start with smaller projects first. Start small and like then go up. Then once you get those accomplished and you can regularly get things done, then you can add bigger projects. But too many people, they start too big too fast. I'm one of them. Do you scripts? Yeah, I do. So I have like an actual script that I write. It's not like a formal like playwright script or anything, but it's like, basically what I do is I have panel 1. I'll have panel like 1. Hey, clip. Panel 1, like X happens, and then like A, you know, like character A says blah 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 blah, and like that's it. That's what I do. So like I actually like, so this is like panel 1 and like panel 2, and like I don't necessarily keep to this specifically. This is not a strict script. It's more like this is generally what I want to happen, and this is roughly how many panels I expect on a page. But if I go outside it, it's okay. It just kind of gives me like a rough idea of what to expect for this page, or like what to aim for. I have I've already got about 800 pages scripted, or it's about 800 pages worth. That's about what I'm expecting. It may go longer depending on like as I'm actually doing the drawings. Like am I going to find that, oh yeah, like this is like I can stay true to my script, or if I'm like going to actually like have to stray from it, because I'm already having to stray from it in chapter 2. Just a little bit. I'm having to add in 2 extra pages because as I was doing my sketches for chapter 2, which I've already started my sketches, I realized that, hey, like this isn't gonna fit in 1 page. I'm gonna have to split it into 2 pages. And then I got another idea, and I was like, but wait, now that I've added an extra page, now my spreads are off. Like I have specific things that I want at the end of the page. So for example, so like the first panel of a new page spread is called Mikuri Goma, and then like the last panel is called Hikigoma. And so like I plan that's why I panel out. Like yeah, like I know exactly like what's going to happen on the first panel of the page and the last panel of the page, whatever number this is. So like I know at least those 2 for sure. Like I plan what happens first and what happens last. And I always plan 2 pages at a time, because that's how it's going to be read if it ever gets printed. So that's why I plan that way. Now what happens in between is definitely kind of up for grabs. Sometimes I'll realize that, hey, maybe say this panel would be better here. And so then I have to figure out where these two panels are going to go, so I have to put them on the next page. And then that messes up that page. So like sometimes that stuff happens, and that happened definitely when I was figuring out this chapter. I actually had to take out 3 pages because it was too long. It was exactly 50 pages. And then I was like, no, that's a little too long. Like, I need to cut it down to 47 pages. And because I need to allow for, like, other things. You know, like the previous, like, you know, like the chapter cover and all that other stuff. It's supposed to be 50 pages with the cover. And so I'm like, oh, shit, like, I have to get rid of pages. So I had to cut pages out. Do you think scripting per page is better than per chapter? It definitely depends on the person. Some people can get away with not having to script all the way down to the page. Some people work better when they have that freedom. Some people don't like being boxed in, like, oh, well, now I have to do this. If it helps you and it makes you feel more secure and it makes it so that you can progress because you're not having to guess, you're not having to wonder about what you're supposed to do, then yes, definitely go for doing page to page. If for some people, they do better if their scripting is their storyboard. So basically, for some people, this kind of scripting is better, where they have like just, that's what all this blue is it's just sketches. For some people, they do better when they storyboard and they script this way. I know people that do this, like this is how they script, is they script with sketches. They have like a loose outline for every chapter of what they want to happen at the beginning of the chapter, and then anything like really important that happens in the middle, and then the very end, so they know how their chapter ends. They only do that. And then they're able to just like bam bam bam, like do all these sketches, get all these sketches done. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Like, but I can't do that. That's not my writing style, and that's not like my scripting style. You know, so people can do that. I like to have it all planned out. I don't know why, but I do. I think that's part of my problem. But yeah, so it kind of depends on what you feel would be best for you. If something's not working for you, then obviously you need to change what you're doing, because what you're doing isn't working. And doing the same thing and expecting a different result is literally the definition of insanity. So if it's not working, maybe try something different. Maybe take the first 6 pages. So that's 3 spreads, right? Maybe try it with 6 pages and see if it works. See if being a little more picky about it works for you. And if it doesn't, try something else. That would be my suggestion. And also, like, with the artwork, you don't have to have, like, I've noticed that a lot of manga artists get, like, really upset if, like, their artwork doesn't emulate what they want. In terms of, like, well, it doesn't look like my idol's artwork. And that's okay. Like, you're never going to be able to exactly emulate X person. And just because you can emulate or copy X person or, like, mimic their style perfectly doesn't guarantee you any success. At all. I mean, at most it might, I don't want to say guarantee, at most it might, like, increase your odds of becoming an assistant. But becoming an assistant thing is only valid if you speak Japanese in most cases. So even then, like, it's not worth it much. Even if you can copy X person. And if you can copy X person, it might backfire on you if you choose to do so. Because they're like, oh, you're just a blank clone. You know, like, there's a really, really well-known mangaka that's not Japanese. And he gets mocked a lot because they're like, oh, well, your manga is just a bleached clone. Like, the style looks just like Kubo. And it's like, dang. It feels like Kubo's work when I read it. And I was like, geez, this really feels like him. And so, like, that can backfire on you. So it's not always a good thing to, like, emulate someone, like, perfectly. And, you know, so being different's okay. You know, I've had some people look at my work and they can pick out the 2 people that inspire me the most. Like, they can easily pick them out. Some people can't. So, you know, everyone else has different opinions. So it's up to you. Honestly. If people know me really well, they're probably, like, it probably wouldn't be too hard to guess who those 2 mangaka are. Some people can guess. Yeah, those cliffhangers are really important. Being able to keep your readers interested is really important. I think people underestimate that. They think, oh, well, this has to look really cool, or they think, like, my art has to be really, really cool, you know, for it to, like, succeed, and, like, art is only half the thing. If you can't panel well, if you can't letter well, if you can't write a good story, your art, like, the technical skill of your art doesn't mean shit. I mean, for example, take Takeshi Obata, the artist behind Hikaru no Go, Death Note, and Bakuman, and Platinum End is the new one. Like, he is an amazing artist, but every single story that he's tried to publish with his own art, where he did the art and the story, failed. In the sense that, like, Jump cut it. So, like, just because you're, like, really good at art doesn't mean anything. Rumiko Takahashi is one of them, but it is not Hiromu Arakawa, which, you know, Arakawa is definitely one of my favorites, but they are not, like, a person that I take a lot of inspiration from in terms of my artwork. The story, yes. If you ask me about story, definitely Hiromu Arakawa, but Rumiko Takahashi is one of them that I take from in terms of artwork, so... Hi, Miso. What? Oh, baby. It's a very good guess. I hope that made sense. Yo-Yo, I hope that made sense. I kinda ramble sometimes. Okay, I ramble a lot. Before Dustin rats me out. I do ramble a lot. But, I mean, that's why I like streaming. It's like I can come here and I can, like, talk to people about manga and stuff. I just wish I was more consistent with my streaming schedule. Part of that's because I'm just, like, I'm afraid to draw, because I'm always afraid that, like, you know, like, I'm boring people. You know? So it's mostly just a fear that it's, like, not interesting. I'm, like, deathly afraid to bore people. Oh my god, why am I coloring that? Sure why I feel like it's boring. I feel like maybe it's just because it's just drawing. Like, who wants to watch drawing? You know what I mean? It's just funny because I watch drawing. I love watching people draw. I always learn things when I'm watching other people. I'm drawing while watching you draw. There you go. Yep. I do the same thing. I'm usually drawing when I'm watching other people draw. That works, that works. Hey Dustin, I got my first official gig as a comic artist. I can't say with who, but I did finally get one. It's definitely not what I expected to get a gig in, but I have it, so I'm not gonna complain. It's like the last thing that I thought I was gonna get a gig in terms of like the job that I'm doing. Yeah. I have to do like 150 some pages, but yeah, I was not expecting to get it was like the last thing I thought I'd be getting a job in. So I'm pleasantly surprised. Oh, this needs to go this way. Each page, when I'm able to 100% focus, which means not streaming, usually I can do about 6 to 10 hours a page. When I stream though, usually my pages take longer because I'm talking and I'm not like zeroed in. So usually when I'm streaming, my pages can go all the way up to 15 to 20 hours just because I talk a lot. Because I talk a lot. So yeah, if I wasn't talking, they probably wouldn't take as long. Well, I know they don't. So yeah, about 6 to 10 hours a page. But yeah, when I'm talking here like this, oh man, it slows way down. It slows way down. It's because I'm a chatterbox. You're right, Dustin. Let's see. Is the gig in US comics? No. Is outside the US and it is not manga. Yeah, I'm excited for it. It is gonna be printed, so I'm excited to like get like my first official credit. I'm really excited. As far as I know, it's gonna be printed. Okay. I'm not 100% sure it'll get printed, but we're gonna try. I'm so excited. It'll be like my first official credit, so. Oh, and even though I said it might take longer, like, always feel free to come talk to me. What? What's up?
Baby in there?
Huh?
Little cat's there, baby?
Yeah, Misa's in here.
Yeah,
Well, now she's not.
or baby's out.
You just let Misa out, Dad. Miso, come back! Miso! You little bugger. She's not gonna come back. You're gonna have to force her in. let Miso out. Miso's an absolute terror about, like, coming into my room. She doesn't like it. She's funny. But anyway, yeah, like, don't ever feel bad about, like, coming in and talking to me and stuff. Like, I love talking to people. That's why, like, I like streaming. It's fun. Usually. Let's make another later. Doesn't look quite even, doesn't it? There we go. Close enough. Close enough. And just duplicate this. Bring it down. Ta-da! Ta-da! I don't have to redraw it. We're gonna have door slats. Actually, I think this goes all the way down the door. Now that I think about it. I'm trying to remember. Okay, like, I'm really mad. So, like, I had this door, like, drawn, and it looked fantastic. It looked great. And then, like, I accidentally, deleted it. So I did all this work, like, drawing this door, and I had, like, a larger version of it, so all I had to do was just downsize it, so I wouldn't have to redraw the door. And then, like, I got all done with the sketch, and, like, I had autosave on, but I hadn't, like, actually, like, finalized, like, saved it yet. And so, like, oh. No, Dad did. Anyway, so, like, what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Yeah, this disaster with the door. So, it wasn't just the door. Like, it was, like, I had a lot of the stuff already drawn, and then, like, I lost it. Because, you know, like, after you're done saving and stuff, which reminds me, it's time to save. Like, you know how it asks you, would you like to save? And for some reason, my brain went, nope. And I hit no. And because I technically said no to do you want to save, it deleted all cached, like, temporarily stored data. And so, dude, I was so mad. I was like, no! Dang it! Why did I do that? So yeah, I lost it. I was so pissed off. I didn't even get a screenshot of the door first. Man, I hate it when I do that.
You get thick.
So yeah, I was like, why, brain? There she is, Dad.
She's getting thick.
Well, she
She's
should.
heavy.
She should. She was skinny before.
Yep.
Good job, Miso.
Alright, good night.
Good night. Good job, Miso. Fluffy baby. Come here, Miso. In the chapter you uploaded, the sketches have so much detail, so do you have another sketch under that? Yes. So I sketch everything twice. Which, for some people, is like, oh my god, why would you sketch it twice? Because my first pass is, so I have two passes when I do sketches. My first pass for the sketch is just planning where everything goes. And, like, what angles I want. That's literally all it is. It's like my, so in terms of, usually I have my script phase. Well, let's get really technical. I've got my outline phase, and then I have my script phase, and then I have my layout phase, which are rough sketches, and then I have clean sketches, this is where I finalize things. Oh, I spelled finalize wrong. And then I have my inks. And then tone. Well, I ink and tone at the same time. And then, eyeliner. So yeah, I sketch twice. Yeah, sketch twice, draw once, exactly. It's the same thing as measure twice, cut once. For me, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, I've got my first sketch down. The first sketches are almost never your best idea, ever. And so I've just gotten into the habit of, like, doing a second pass. That way I can kind of, like, alright, here's your second chance. Do you really want to do this? And so that's usually when I make that decision, where it's like, do you really want to do this? Hey, Miso. Miso! She's mad because she got thrown back in here. I love you too, Miso. She's flicking her tail, so she's obviously agitated. What? What? You don't have to be up here. You can get down if you like, Miso. If you don't know who Miso is, she's my cat. My extremely expensive, beloved cat. You just added about $1,300 to your price tag. But I love you. I love you anyway. Because you're my child. Just kidding. You're a monster, but I love you. You're my monster. My savings! My savings! Oh god! Literally, my savings is all gone now. It's her fault. You're an expensive cat. Yeah, you get comfortable and you just lay here and do nothing and contribute nothing. She's like, what are you talking about? I contribute. She's like, I contribute love. Oh, you look so happy right now. But yeah, so let me show you what they actually start out as, because actually I have a page that shows what the initial sketches look like. You'll see why I do 2 sketches here in a second. This is why I do 2 sketches. It's because the first set usually looks like this. The first pass is really, really rough, and so I'll start out like this to kind of get like a basic idea of like what direction things are moving. Like I don't even decide the emotion because I already know what the emotion's supposed to be. I just kind of like roughly, loosely plan like how many panels are there gonna be. Like in this case, there's a lot of panels in this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 panels on this one, which is like right at the upper limit for manga. Basically, it's like 8 panels is basically the limit. But this way, I know, okay, how many panels are there? Where are they? You know, like how are they positioned? Does it make sense? Like, does the flow of the panel make sense? For example, you know, character comes in this way. So yeah, direction comes first this way, then it comes back. There's gonna be a light that shines that brings the character back this way off all lay. Goes back over here. She's facing this way. Go down. So you face her to her hand. Go down. Focus on Coco. And then this action leads us up to the next page. So, up. And notice her legs are pointing up this way. Go up, and then we start again. Character's running this way. Running this way. Back. She's facing this way. Whoop, leads you up this way. See how this makes an angle? Leads you up into the next page. Ta-da! Comic flow! How does Wally say it? Ta-da! Boy, he's got two tails now. And he is, oh man, he was tame before. He's like arrogant and like sassy. He's not quite Coco level sassy. But he's sassy. He's not sassy, he's sassy. Probably gonna have to redraw this eye, but that's okay. Because I've changed his design a little bit, so I'm probably gonna have to redraw that, but that's okay. So yeah, Comic Flow 101. It's called, if you want to look this up, it's called Komawari. 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 I forget how, Koma is like panel, and I forget what wari means. So each one of these, koma, like each one of these is a koma. And then remember, this is Mikuri. Oh wow, I'm spelling it like in cashew. Mikuri. This last one is Hikigoma. Hikigoma. And then there's other types of panels, like for example, that was one of my previous panel. Okay, so there's other types of panels. Yeah, Mikuri. I'm not exactly sure what it means, but I know that that's what it's called. So there's lots of panel types. There's Mikuri, Hiki, Masugu, Naname, Misegoma. So this is the first panel in a spread. This is the last panel in spread. And then Masugu is a square or rectangle panel. In other words, you have square 90-degree corners for all of it. That's what that means. Naname panels are panels that have any kind of angle on them. They're angled corners. And each one of these has a purpose. Square panel corners or square corner panels are like really stable, like really even, like solid foundation feeling. And then angled corners are all about motion. It's like if there's an action going, or there's a motion going, or there's like a character that you want to feel is like really overpowering to a smaller character, what you can do is you can create an angle to sort of make it feel like one panel is like leading into another one. That's the direction that action is going, or that motion is going. So that's kind of the idea behind like the Name panels. And then there's Ma panels, and I like to call these quiet panels, but they're not necessarily quiet panels. So in Japanese culture, there's this idea of Ma, where like after someone speaks, you wait. You don't respond right away. You take time to consider what they said, and then after you think about it, then you can respond. It's sort of like a quiet, like reflection. I guess you could also call it like a reflection panel, where it's like a character could be thinking about something, or they could be like, or like they're just noticing something. It's like it also has typically no dialogue. No dialogue. No. That's like that's a really defining feature of like a Ma panel, because it's usually like an emotion or it's a reaction, but it doesn't like something like this is okay, or like like oh whoa, like a little like reaction sound, like a more of like a sound effect is okay, but you don't want anything more than that if you're gonna have like a mock panel, because you want the focus to be on that reaction. And that's like an Eastern culture thing that doesn't happen a lot in the US. Like in the US, especially like Western world in general, we're usually thinking of our reply like before the other person's even done. And in Asian culture, that's really rude. And so like it's just customary to like slow down and like think of your reply, consider what they said, and then give your answer. And then Misegoma is the focus panel of the page. Is your focus panel. So usually these are the largest panels. Usually, 99.9% of the time, they're like the largest panel, on the page, and it's like the most important one. Most important one. So like it's like that's where like most of the not necessarily the most detail is gonna go, but like that's the most important thing, either with the action that happens or what's said in the panel. Like that's where you want to, like if you want to detail anything, that's where you want to put it, because you want that panel to stand out. And then you can have like a bunch of like smaller panels around it. So now, not every single panel is going to have a panel. Not every single page is going to have a panel that's like obviously the biggest one. Because here's the other thing, is like the size of the panel also matters. Like if you have a bigger panel, it's going to take your eye like a long time to go through that panel. Like for example, this is a really good example. Is this page here. I have a panel that's really big. It takes up like half the page. And so like that's obviously in this spread, that is the most important panel. And the reason why it's most important is it introduces the first visuals, in terms of like first like major visuals of two characters. Ak and Fale, which is the woman. Fale is very important in the story, and you'll see her later, I believe later in the chapter, or like in the next chapter, so you'll see her, and so like I want you to remember what she looks like. It's really important. Plus Ak is really, really, really important too, obviously. And then the text that's in here is also very important. It literally says, like, the whole point of, like, most of the story is that Ak is being accused of killing Fale. Like, that's a major plot point in the story, so it's really important. And so I made sure to give this panel a lot of importance. And then on this particular page, the two panels that are the most important are this one and then this one. But it's mostly this one. So I gave it a lot of space. I gave it room to breathe. I didn't box it in so that it stands out. It literally stands out of the page. So like planning your manga is really important when you're paneling. Knowing like what's the most important, like which panel is gonna be Misegoma? Like, should I have an anime panel or should I have a square panel? Should I have a larger panel that takes longer to read, or should I have like a smaller panel for like quicker actions? Like that's why they say that like non-Japanese people cannot make manga, is because there are so many little teeny tiny things that are thought of in manga. It's not thought of in comics. And I still don't agree with the statement. I feel like anyone can make a manga if they are willing to take the time to learn why manga is done the way that it's done, and then be able to say, okay, here's how it's done. And if you want to be a maverick, go be a maverick. But like learn how it's done, because you still have to cater to the manga audience in some way. You know what I mean? Let's see. That's when Goku lets off the Kamehameha after 10 pages of build-up. I know the manga didn't do it. Yeah. Yeah, it's really similar. Or, like, another really good example, is Vegeta, like, or when they're flying. Like, Vegeta is very, like, antsy. He's very tense all the time. And so, like, there's a lot of panels where, like, they're just naname panels with him. Or if there's like a fight going on, like they may angle the panel so that you feel like the energy is being channeled into that area, so it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. So like there's a whole bunch of ways to use anime panels. It's not just leaning into the action, but it's also like channeling it, like funneling it. You can do that effect too, which really can like make it feel really tense. So there's a ton of ways you can use it, but like making manga is really difficult. And me personally, having done like both comics and manga, I feel like manga is way more intense in terms of like the specifics. They even have like different grid systems. They have two main grid systems versus the US, which has mainly just one, which is the 9-box system. That's like your most basic panel set. In manga, there's two. There's Yondangumi, which is a 2x4 grid, which is like the older form, and then there's Sandangumi, which is like the newer form. And a lot of manga these days, especially like My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, a lot of those like newer series, especially within like the last 10 years or so, are using Sandangumi, which is a 2x3 grid instead of 2x4. I personally like to use 2x4. I like the way that it looks. And that's what I grew up reading, and so that's what I feel better with personally. Plus, now that I'm using a different grid method, maybe it'll stand out. Maybe editors won't like it because they go, oh, that's the old format. And I'll be like, that's okay, this is what I like. So, there's like all kinds of like little nuances that are in manga that aren't in comics. And I love it. I love the challenge of it, and I just love its aesthetic. A lot of this stuff is still in Western comics anyway. I have books about that because, yeah, Scott McCloud and Will Eisner's stuff cover it a lot. That's why I'm saying, like, a lot of the stuff, like, it exists in Western comics, but it's not as, like, well known. I know a lot of people that they do that stuff, but they don't know that they know it. So it's super interesting. Sorry, I totally got distracted from drawing. Sorry, guys. But yeah, if anyone else is still here other than Dustin, I hope that was helpful. So, Eisner goes over old turnips. Yeah, I think there's a really nice resurgence going on right now. So, you're welcome. That's why I like streaming. It's fun. I get to talk with people and I get to share my knowledge with people. I'm not one of those people where it's like, no, it's my knowledge. You can't have it. I'm not one of those people. I love helping people. I love streaming and I like talking about manga. It just makes me excited to draw manga. Yeah, it's really, and it's so interesting because that kind of nuancy stuff is really for me what defines someone who's done their read in terms of if people who are aiming for the traditional manga aesthetic, like they want it to look like a traditional Japanese manga, whatever that is to them, because everyone has a different. At least all Westerners have like a different definition of what manga looks like to them because there are so many different types of manga. I mean, compare something from like Akira Toriyama or Doraemon to Death Note or Hikaru no Go or Bakuman or One Punch Man. Like, they're all wildly different. They have wildly different like paneling structures, they have wildly different art structures, completely different like lettering techniques. Like, well, they're all the same basic techniques, but like the way that it's handled is completely differently in terms of like what the style is. Like, they're all completely different. And so there's no like manga looks like X. But you can have the basic things, you know, like does it have, you know, the different types of panels? Does it have like either sandan or yondangumi? Like, does it have that kind of stuff? Like, there are the little things like that you can look for and say, oh hey, like this person has done their research and they have all these really small nuancy things that unless you really look for it or you know where to look for it or you like you know who to ask, like most Westerners would never know about. And for me, like, that's what really defines like someone who's like an amateur versus not an amateur, or someone who's basically the most other amateurs. You know what I mean? So, and that's the type of person that I want to be. I want to be the person that when someone looks at this, they go, oh wow, like this person, she may be Western, but like she's done her research. Like, that's the kind of reaction I want. I think that's why Otomo's work is so popular. And one of the reasons it's because it follows a very, like, abnormal, like, flow. And it just, like, it was so different that it was cool. I'm not saying that's the only reason, like, it's just genuinely good and I love his, I really, really want his book. But yeah. His drawings are really, really nice. I really want that book. It's like a classic that, like, everyone's... Alright, let's do another square here. And, like, honestly, I mean, I'm gonna be bloody honest with you. Sometimes I don't know how accurate I am on some of these things. You know, I mean, I have a really awesome friend group of mangaka from Japan that I can ask questions to. And if I ask a question, they'll answer it. So, like, I'm very, 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 very lucky that, like, I have that resource available to me. Sometimes I feel like I'm a burden to them because I don't speak Japanese very well. I don't mind Akihito's videos, but I cannot have the sound on. I hate ASMR. And so, like, listening to his videos, just, like, the paper moving or, like, the with every line he makes, it's like, argh! But when I'm drawing, I'm the type of person where I like to have, like, I like to draw with other people. And so usually I have, like, I've got, like, an extra screen, so I'll put one of his videos up while I'm drawing. It also works really well as a timer, so that I know how long I've been drawing. But yeah, no, I definitely agree. I've got, like, a whole playlist just, like, full of his videos that I want to watch. Akihito. Let me show you. Since I'm the only one that can post links, I'll grab one for you. Or I'll just grab his channel. There's this channel if you would like it, Dustin. He basically, like, records himself drawing, and even has like practice sessions, like actual manga pages. Like, he just has, like, everything, and, like, some, like, mostly just, like, watching him draw and practice. They're really, really, really great draw along videos. Especially, he has, like, a whole, like, playlist for practicing. It's really great to, like, draw along with him. It's super good practice, and it's really good for warm-ups too. I like to do that. I like to draw along with him for his practice. Yeah, the ASMR is too much. But I still love the videos enough that usually I'll just mute him, and I'll put something else on. Some people like the ASMR. I don't. I can't tolerate it at all. And for me, it's like I hate the feel of paper underneath my hand. You know, like when I touch a piece of paper for the first time, like, and I'm writing or drawing, I literally have to take my hand and, like, you know, like, just to show you guys what I mean, here's my pen. Like, I have to, like, rub my hand against it like this. Like, but rubbing my hand against it just so that I can, like, get used to the texture of the paper. Otherwise, I hate it. I know it's a really weird niche thing, but forgive me. be crazy. It's such a niche thing to complain about. You didn't mind the ASMR until I did. I know the feel. I'll probably make these like windows or something. Aw, I'm glad. Thank you. Hi, Vacuum. What's up? I'm glad that you feel inspired. Oh my god, yay. That's like literally the best compliment I can ever get. Thank you so much. I'm trying to like be better about streaming more often because I'm just such a coward. I'm so afraid that like I'm boring people. And so I'm like, oh, I don't want to stream. What if they don't like it? Ooh. Like, what if I'm boring? I don't want to stream. I feel bad if I'm boring. You know what I mean? So like, I just don't do it. And then everyone's like, when are you gonna stream again? And I'm like, I don't know. So thank you for the compliment. Seriously, it really makes me feel better. How you doing, Vacuum? And thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. I'm such a coward. And like once I start streaming, I'm fine. That's the silly part. It's like once I start, I'm okay. It's like, come on, cat, get to work, you lazy bum. Which is funny, like I'm drawing, like I'm still drawing. I'm not streaming. Like literally every time I sit down, my brain goes, you should stream. It's like, how about I don't? Every single time, you should stream. How about I don't? Every time. Okay, I gotta check the door down here because I already drew it. The big one that goes up and then goes down and kind of levels out. Okay. And then it goes up, and there. That's how it goes. Okay, and we have a big eyeball right about here. Right here-ish. Yeah, she is super busy now. Tatcha is so busy right now. He's hitting your head on things again, goober. She's so busy now. She's getting stuff done though, let me tell you. I wish I had like half the motivation she does to like get somewhere in life. I just want to draw, man. That's why I need to stream more, is so that I can like have like a good, strong YouTube channel and like be a streamer. And everyone's like, you should go stream on Twitch. And it's like, I have a Twitch channel, but like I'd have to start completely over because I've not been active long enough. And so I'd have to start completely over, which is fine, which means I'd be very unlikely to get affiliate again. Actually, I don't know if it's been long enough. I think August. So I think it's 12 months. So I'd have to stream before August if I want to keep my affiliation. But like I was doing fine and like I was getting really good numbers and things were growing and it was awesome. And then like just one day, boom, nothing. Like I have like 250 followers. And all of a sudden, like one day, I went from like an average of like 30 viewers per stream to like 5. I was lucky to get 5. And it was literally overnight. And so I'm like, wow, this is really weird. So like I contacted Twitch support. And I'm like, hey, like I've noticed that like here's my stats. Like they literally have tanked overnight. Like did I do something wrong? Nothing. Like I got no help. They never answered me back. And so I was like, what happened? Guys, help me. And so I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I've already got a YouTube channel. And like, it's already basically monetized. So like, let's just stick with YouTube. Plus I get the benefit of standard content. You know, like they offer memberships, which is like just like subscribing on Twitch. So like, yeah, let's do that. No, it wasn't a single night. It was like 2 weeks of like dead numbers. It went from like 30 to like less than 5 for like 2 weeks. I just gave up. I was like, I don't know if I got shadow banned or something. Maybe I angered the Twitch gods. But it was literally overnight. And it was multiple nights. Like I streamed almost every day or like at least every other day. Like I was really hardcore about my Twitch streaming because I was an affiliate now. So like I had to maintain it. So I was like, yeah, I gotta do this. And I'm like, it just completely died. It just died. Really disappointing, honestly. But it is what it is. Now I'm here on YouTube. That's what I thought too. Like initially I was like, wow, that's a bad night. Because like bad nights happen. Even on like YouTube. Like today is a really, really slow night for YouTube. Usually I'll get like 50 to 40 views in a few hours. I haven't even cracked 10. So like it happens. But I'm not gonna like stop streaming just because like, oh, I don't have enough fans watching me. How angering, how disappointing. I mean, is it frustrating? Yeah, a little bit, but like, I'm not here. I mean, I am here for you guys, but like, I'm not here because like, I desperately need like validation. I'm here because I want to draw manga and like I want to talk to people. And if I have a slow night, like that's fine. You know, maybe people are busy. Maybe people are doing things. Plus, we also have to consider this weekend is a major holiday for a lot of countries because it's Easter weekend, I think. No, that's next weekend. Well, okay, so never mind that then. I mean, next week is Holy Week for a lot of culture, for a lot of people. Not for me. I don't celebrate, or I'm not Christian or whatever. But I know for a lot of people it's a really important week. There's other things that are going on this month as well for other cultures. So like, I don't know, maybe people are busy. Or it's a Thursday night. Thursday, historically, has been like the worst night for me. Like, every time. Because people are done, people are tired. Like, Friday night, like Monday night's where it's at. Is it bad to do too much foreshadowing? I mean, it kind of depends. Like, you can, like, give stuff away, basically, and still be okay. The question is, though, like, is the information that you're giving relevant? If you can give away too much information to the point where they're like, okay, like, what's the point of reading now? And you can also give away too much information. I just realized that the line lines up perfectly with the fire. You can also give away so much information that they don't even want to bother anymore. You know what I mean? So you definitely have to kind of mind that. But it's kind of up to you what you consider to be too much until your readers tell you what's too much. It also depends on your story. If you have like a mystery, maybe you don't want to give away too much information, but you want to give maybe away a little bit more than normal because clues and stuff. If you're doing like an action story, like there's a difference between foreshadowing and like explaining everything. You know what I mean? Like you can't sit there and explain how your power system works and call it foreshadowing, but if it's too much information at one time, like it's gonna be boring and your reader's gonna quit reading. And so there's like a delicate balance between giving too much information at once, and then giving them just enough information to make them curious and say, what about this? Or what is that? Or wow, what's gonna happen? It's a very delicate balance to like keep them intrigued without giving them too much information so that they get a bellyache. You know what I mean? It's definitely very delicate. So yeah, you can totally give away too much information. And that's what a lot of people struggle with, is they just give away too much too fast, and then it's just overwhelming. It's like, too much information. Don't give me so much. It is definitely a thing. I hope that was helpful. Sorry, I went by there for a second. I was thinking. I was doing too much thinking. Okay, so I did make this part black. Okay, good. Just wanted to double check that I did that. Misa, what am I feeding you, child? Damn. Damn, girl. Stinky. So let's see. What manga inspired you to make your story the way it is? Fullmetal Alchemist, for sure. Definitely Fullmetal Alchemist. I absolutely adore Fullmetal Alchemist in terms of like its story structure. So for me, its story structure is in some ways it's mystery based, but it has multiple plots running. Like it has like I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it. Like it has like what you think is the major plot. Like it has all the stuff that's going on, and then like right towards the very end, like maybe like 3/4 of the way in, you realize that it's not what you think it is. And then like when that happened, my brain just went, that is so cool! Like my brain just went, wow! And so like that just became like fascinating to me. And so I was like, oh, I gotta I gotta do something like that. Like I loved it. Because originally my story was very simple. It was all about who killed Fale, and like that was it. It was literally, hang on, let me zoom out. It was literally only about mostly Fale, and then Auk, which is this fox thing, and then like a little bird named Coco. Like that was usually all it was. That's what it originally was. That was it. And this character Aros, oh, I need to fix his face. This character Aros was like a side character. Like he was just like a little minion character. And my beta readers loved Aros. They're like, oh my gosh, like I love this character. You need to make another story that's like his point of view. Or like, you know, like give him more. And I'm like, I wonder what would happen if he was the main character. And so, like, I rewrote the story. Like, I kept the version that I had, and, like, I rewrote it so that Aros could be the main character. And the character that's on the front is also Aros. It's, so what's happening here, this is, like, 6 years in the past. This is also, technically it's Mal. Technically it's Mal, but the character on the very front here, this is Aros. And, anyway, you know, like, I rewrote it. And my betas read it, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is great. This is really great. Like, please do this one. And so I did. And so, like, I'm now working on this one where Aros is the main character, and the majority of the story is told from his point of view versus Auk and Coco, which is like a little small bird. And then as I was writing the story, I was like, well, like, I really like how I have, like, this other plot that happens, but I feel like that's too predictable. And my betas agreed that, like, the twist, which, and so Manga has what's called a, Kishulten kits. I'm gonna write that out for you. Well, actually, I'll type it out. Not all manga has this structure, but it's called Kishulten kits. And it's a very similar writing structure to, Western writing. The difference with Kishulten kits is it's not conflict reliant. You can have a plot that doesn't have a conflict, and Kishulten kits also has a 4-part act versus technically the 3-part act in Western culture. What it does is it has like, and also like what happens in each one. So for example, you have your intro, right? And then so you have me write out some more stuff. Like, again, like another main difference. So like here's your plot, here's your story structure. Let's just make them even for sake of argument here. Actually, yeah. I guess it's more like this. So like you have your intro. Really? So like your intro, right? Then you have like your development. They call this development. Development stage. Your intro is like the who, the what, the where, blah 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 blah. That's what that is. And then this is just adding information. All you're doing is you're just adding info. It doesn't have to be like introducing a conflict. It doesn't have to be adding in this or adding in that. It could just be like adding in like here's the intro, and then you have what's called the twist, which is this part. We'll just put it here. So this is your twist, okay, or your, I guess your climax. And Kishulten kits, it's called Yama, which is like the highest one. And what's really cool about like Kishilton kits, just like other things, is you don't have to like go linearly. Like you'd have like a small one, then like another smaller one, and then if you have your Yama, is the biggest. It's like your biggest twist, or like your biggest climax. That's the whole point of this here. And then all this is your resolution, or the result. The result of twist. You don't have to solve things. You don't have to like fix things. It's just all this is just what happens. I spelled that wrong. What happens. It can be good. It can be bad. It doesn't have to fix anything. That's basically how the basic idea, from what I'm understanding, if I'm understanding it correctly, is how Kishilton Kits works. Is it doesn't have to be like, oh well, like this is this crazy conflict and there's this crazy resolution. Like it's just the blank happened and this is what happened afterwards. That's literally it. That's literally all it has to be. And, you know, a lot of people will say, oh, Kishilton Kits always has a conflict, because you have different types of conflict. And, I mean, while that may be technically true, like, it's not like... I mean, it doesn't have to. Like, you can literally just have a story about a girl that goes to the grocery store. And you can build that in Kishilton Kits. You know, like, maybe the twist is that she gets scared by a dog along the way. Like, a dog spooks her, like, that's it, that's done, story's over. And she walks home. Maybe that's it. Or maybe like she gets like scared by a dog or she gets scared by something that she thinks is her dog, but it's really not the dog. It's the ghost of a dog. Or maybe it's like, you know, maybe she finds a kitten and she takes it home with her and she's really happy and it's cute, and then the kitten disappears and then like you learn that it was a ghost. There's no conflict in that story. There's none. All it is the woman finds a kitten, she takes it home, she cares for it, and then one day the kitten goes missing and the story ends. There's no conflict there. It's just that's what happens. So like, you know what I mean? And the twist literally comes right at the very end. In that story it's like, and it's like over, like right there. It could literally be the twist happening on the very last page. And that's it. That would be an example of Kishilton Kits. It doesn't have to be shorter. You can have like a long drawn out one if you want. I can't say, I don't know enough about it to say, oh yes, like it has to be short, or oh it has to be long. I personally don't know enough about that to speak on that for certain. But that's personally the type of writing style that I really enjoy. Is I really enjoy twists right at the very end, or like as close to the end as possible, so that you get a really simple, short and sweet resolution. That's what I like. I really love stories with twists right at the very end. That always makes me really happy. That's just a style preference that I prefer. Some people, they want a little bit more time to like get it solved or like get it sort of sorted out, that kind of thing. So everyone's a little different. But yeah, it definitely can be shorter if you want it to be. So you like super short stories, huh? That's boring, Dustin. That's boring. You're no fun. I know. I'm just giving you crap, Dustin. I just realized these doors don't line up. Damn it. How did that happen? These don't line up. Darn it. Now they do. They still don't look quite even, but that's okay. Most people aren't gonna notice, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Dun, dun. Bye, Dustin. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. You know, I always enjoy it. Did you see the rocks, Dustin? Did you see my beautiful rocks? I know how much you enjoy seeing my rock collection. I know how much you enjoy them. I called it my rock collection. If you guys don't know, I really love drawing rocks. Rock! Trees! Oh my god, I love drawing rocks and trees. Plants in general, I just really enjoy. Let's see. I like the feeling of knowing the author had this twist planned from the beginning. Yeah, I think a lot of times that happens. I know that sometimes things don't happen as planned. Like, for example, the biggest twist in my manga, I literally added maybe like 2 months ago. 12 years of writing, and I finally figured out what twist I want. I've been trying to figure it out forever, and like I finally just got it figured out. And it took role-playing with a friend for me to figure it out, because what my friend and I like to do is we like to like role-play like our worlds together. And so it took me like role-playing with her to kind of like figure out like what exactly I wanted. Like once I figured it out, I was like, yo, this is dope. No, Dustin, that's not true. You're not a beta reader, don't listen to him. I'm on chapter 2, bruh. I have 36 chapters already written. What are you talking about? Like, they're scripted. Like, they're literally already scripted. I have 36 chapters, that's like 800 pages. What are you talking about? It's already written, I just have to draw it. Maybe you weren't here for that conversation. But yeah, like, I already have a good chunk of it written. It's possible you weren't here for that, so I'll forgive you this time. Yeah, that's possible. That's why I figured maybe you weren't here for that. So, no worries. No worries. Yeah, I've got it pretty much already written. I'll need a wrist replacement. Yeah. I've already got radial tunnel, like carpal tunnel, but on the other side of the hand. Instead of the thumb side, it's pinky side. So I'm definitely probably gonna need at least carpal surgery by then. Wouldn't be surprised in the latest. Beast. It would be easier to do this instead. Justin, aren't you supposed to be going to bed? Sir? Sir? Hmm? Oops. What? Well, it depends on the person. I have a hyper extension or whatever, so like my joints are way more flexible. And so inflammation doesn't affect me as much. And I think that's one reason why I can draw like 12 hours a day and I'm fine. But I also, so when I'm done drawing, I usually will soak my wrists in like an ice pack. Or if I can, I'll get like I swear to God, I'm not joking. So like you know those pictures that they kind of look like this a little bit, like they look like this, and then they have like a little handle on the end. I literally would just like fill it with ice and just like dunk my hand in there. And I'll just let it. Here's my wrist. I'll literally just let it sit in ice water for like maybe like 3 or 4 minutes. And what that does, that coldness helps keep the inflammation down, helps prevent your hand from your wrist and like your hands from getting inflamed. And then I also wear like compression gloves, like with copper compression in them. That way it's like better for like my hands, like while I'm drawing. And then if my hands are getting particularly sore, or if I've if I've drawn a lot that week, I'll actually have like an icy hot patch that I'll put on my wrist, and I'll just let it sit there after I'm done for the day. And usually I'll sleep with them on, which is not necessarily a good idea, but it is an option. Just to help give my wrists like a chance to heal, or if they're in pain, which is not very often. I think I've only had a few days where my wrist was in pain, or like it hurt to draw. Usually I'll just take like 2 days off and just keep it iced, keep it cool. Another thing that's a really good idea is to take like paper towels, just soak them in cold water, and then like wrap them around, like get them really cold, wrap them around. You can also freeze ace bandages, which you got to be careful like putting like frozen things against your skin. You don't want to make it too cold, so you can burn yourself that way. But there are options and stuff to help your body heal from like overexertion and stuff. I have a really, really good chiropractor that gives me like a lot of tips. And doing drawing exercises is important. That's why occasionally you'll notice me stop drawing. Is usually I'm stretching my wrist out. Hey, Pappy, what's up, man? How you doing? Doing pretty good. I've got this shrine thing almost done. I'm gonna do tones really soon, and then I gotta do like the part up here, which will be really, really fun. And that'll be done. And then I gotta do like a little bit of mountain drawing in the back, and then I'll tone it. How do you script 38 chapters without the urge to draw any of it? Patience. And see, well, I can't say that I didn't draw any of it. Usually what I did is I would satisfy that need to draw by drawing like a specific scene. Like, say I got to chapter 26 where blank happens, and I'm like, man, I really want to draw this scene. And so maybe like I'll make like a little page, and then like I'll just like loosely just draw it out or whatever, and like that's it. Like that satisfies the urge to draw that. Yeah. So, but also like at that time in my life, I didn't really have a lot of time to draw. I was working 2 jobs, and so I didn't really have a lot of time to draw. Like I was working like 70 hours a week, about 70 hours a week. So it wasn't more like, it was a combination of I didn't have time to draw, and a combination of I'm too tired to draw, and a combination of I just want to get the script done, so my beta readers can read it. So like I had my beta readers to draw for to think about too. So I think it was just like a combination of things. Anyway, how you doing, Pappy? What's up? So it was definitely a combination of factors that kind of helped. Patience is definitely really important if you're gonna go into writing. And for some people, they just kind of just Leroy Jenkins it and do a great job. I'm not one of those people. My previous manga, so this is the previous manga. What happened was, I got, there was a publisher that was interested in it, possibly, and they made some NFT positive tweets, and when I spoke to them about it, they had mentioned that they possibly had plans for NFTs in the future, and they didn't understand why I was against it, and like crypto in general, and so at that time, I kind of knew that, hey, this isn't the company for me. And so I backed out. So, man, that sucks. I'll be finding a job soon. So, this is technically a revamp of the previous manga. It's the same manga. I'm still not done with chapter 1 yet. But anyway, the reason why I started over is I spent about 5 or 6 months with them, like doing rewrites and like trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Yeah, is my music too loud? I feel like it's really loud. Yeah, it wasn't something I wanted, it's not English. It's not something that I felt comfortable doing or comfortable getting into. And so I was like, I'm not gonna do this. So, I mean, hey, if that's your thing, I mean, it's your thing, but it's not gonna be my thing. It's not gonna be my thing. But yeah, so I felt like kind of at the point, like I already spent like 5 or 6 months reworking it for them. I was like, well, you know what, I might as well just like keep reworking it, and so I did. Might as well just keep redoing it. So here I am. You know, it is what it is, and it's okay. Like I'm not like mad or anything about it. I mean, I am, but I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, I am, but I'm not. It is what it is, and it's fine. Just not my thing. I mean, the reason why I'm not really upset about it is it gave me an opportunity to, like, redraw things and, like, make them better. So that's why it's okay. Nice, nice. Hi, Carla. Hey, what's up? Did you, yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say now. How are things going, though? Up in the Sioux land, how is it going? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, my music is ever too loud. Please, just guys, just let me know. I'm always happy to. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. I'll probably put the mountains in the back, and let me try. Yes, guys, I have a lot of layers. I usually merge them when I'm all done, so. Well, I'll merge the line art together. So far, everything I'm working on is just line art, so usually I'll merge those when I'm all done. Don't judge me. Oh my god, I know we're gonna get judged. Look at many layers that fool has. Move to Brandon, we like a new apartment. Peace. Yeah, it'll be coming out in June, just like the previous one did. So hopefully it'll come out and it'll look nice and people will like it. So are you guys having buffering issues? Because it's telling me that there's buffering issues. All of a sudden I'm getting errors. What's going on? Alright, oh, maybe that's why. There's too many. Yeah, the first chapter's gonna be out in June. But it's also like 50 pages. I'm on page 8. Okay, cool. I just wanted to double check. Yeah, I have the YouTube Studio thing up, and it was telling me that I was having some issues with my streaming, so I wanted to double check with you guys. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, sometimes it just freaks out for like no reason. It's weird. The original copy? Oh, this basically what I did is I decided to add some pages before it. So you'll still oopsie. So you'll still see like a lot of the original ones. For example, blah, 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 blah. So like this one was technically in the original one. Starting about here-ish, you'll recognize these panels, if you can see them, I guess. They're really faint. Let me. Yeah, they're really faint because they're ready for inking. That's how I know that the pages are ready. Is I'll lower the opacity so they're more transparent. So some of these panels you'll probably recognize from before. A lot of them are being recycled. Some of them are going to be redrawn. Like these two are being redrawn. Actually, probably everything is going to be redrawn. I'll just like redraw it as is, but with like better line art because I've learned some new things about making line art better. So you'll see those changes. I also added in some more panels. I changed some angles on other panels. So for the most part, it's the same. It's just I've changed a couple things just to make it more easy to read, I guess, to make it more interesting. I don't know why this panel is up there. That should be down here. I don't know why that's up there. That's weird. Yeah, because this panel was... Maybe I did something and didn't save the changes. That's possible. Yeah. So, I mean, for the most part, like, the ending is really similar, and I ended on a different place. So... Hey, Manga Samte, thank you for becoming a member, by the way. I appreciate it very much. I should have some of these pages out here really soon. I had a bunch of NDA work that I had to do and I had to stay up really late for. Last couple days. Oh man. I think over the weekend, I got like maybe 20 hours of sleep. Like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. like Sunday night, Monday night, and Tuesday night. I think I only got about 10 hours of sleep total over the 3 nights. I've been like super swamped. I was supposed to have the weekend clear, and I ended up getting a huge project I have to do. Like, let's put it this way, like, I have a month to do 152 pages. Let's put it that way for NDA stuff. And so I'm, like, overwhelmed! like, this stream is, like, my personal time. And I'm, like, doing personal time during a stream. It's just funny. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's buffering. It might be because it's late at night. It also might be because I've got some tabs open that don't need to be open. That's also a possibility. So... Is the eyeball weapon still in the story? Oh, you mean, Oma? Technically, yeah. You mean, the one that looks kinda like... Oopsie. Kinda like this. It has like an eyeball on it, and it looks like this. That one? Yeah, that's Oma. O-H-M-A. And she'll be in, and Pone, the character that was wielding her as a weapon, will still be in the story. Pone appears, he appears with the Siege of the Port, so that would be chapter 4? I think. He's definitely in the first volume, that's for sure. Definitely in the first volume. I'm trying to remember if it's 4 or 5, because I changed how 4 ended. I'm trying to remember if I changed that to 4 or 5. Yeah, Oma will be in here. Oma and Pone will both be. So, what he's talking about is a character from my Onami manga, which was the first manga that, like, I actually, like, completed from beginning to finish. Let me grab a link if you guys want to read it. It's, like, my first manga, so it's okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. It's part of a lore series. Here we go. So, hi Kat, not sure if you remember me. Of course I remember you, but we had a quick chat on Twitter about your membership tiers. Stream as I get ready for work. Oh, I hope work goes really good for you. Take it easy. Yeah, it was really good idea to give some context for the older pages, new chapter. It's a much better beginning. I think so. Is the eyeball weapon? Okay, slight buffering on my end. Oh, sorry for the buffering. I'm trying to figure out why it's doing that. It's not giving me any more errors, but hopefully it'll stay better. Good luck with all those chapters. The pleasure is all mine. I haven't had the time to check out all the lovely perks yet, but I can't wait for the weekend so I can really dig into it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to upload everything this weekend, or this week. I guess this weekend is really soon. So I'm trying to get all the perks uploaded. I have some things uploaded, but if anything is missing, like, please let me know. I just want to be sure, like, I link everything and everyone has access to all the folders, because sometimes I forget to, like, give people access. But you should be able to find everything in the community tab. And yeah, all the links should be in the community tab. So just be sure, if you can't find something, please let me know, because I want to be sure my members get their perks. So that's, like, really important that my members get their perks. Oh, you got an apartment. You don't have a new job yet. When did you move? You must have moved really recently then. Well, I hope you find one quickly. Man, I thought you enjoyed your last one. Did you move just for the pricing, or like why did you guys end up moving? I've heard the housing market up there has gotten pretty rough. Oh, okay. That's a good reason. That's a good reason. Hmm. Yeah, it can be really hard when you're getting like overtime is nice, but it can be hard if you're getting like too much overtime and it's just becoming overwhelming. I didn't want to quite mirror it, but I think I'm gonna mirror it. But this one I'm gonna draw each one, that way they're not too exact. It'll help with the effect, make it look a little less weird. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I had to leave Florida. Just not my thing. Plus it was just the housing market is just absolutely trash now. Like before, I could get a one-bedroom like easily for under $700, and now it's impossible to like even get a studio under that much unless you're paying for absolute nothing in terms of quality. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna stay here. Nice. You can do that with apartments? I didn't know they'd let you do that with apartments. Yeah, it's absolutely insane, like how everywhere is like so expensive now. I was supposed to get both panels done, you guys. I don't think it's gonna I don't think that's gonna happen now. I put way too much time into this page. That's okay. That's alright. Every once in a while it's fine to like spend extra long on a page. This is definitely gonna be that page where I end up spending like 20 hours on it. I've only sank about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 hours into it so far. I was expecting maybe to put in like another 10 or so. Because I'm streaming, so it's okay. Every once in a while it's fine to go over. Just not make a habit of it. I'm also talking a lot and I've gotten distracted a few times, so... She's telling me it's time for bed. Yep, it's almost 1 o'clock. That's usually when I go to bed, so she's like, Mom, it's time for bed. My little alarm clock. Miso. 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 Baby. No, you cannot. Miso, no. You cannot have my arm. No. I need my arm for the keyboard. You can sleep with you can sleep with my arm in 10 minutes. Okay? No, Mama, I want it right now. Goofy. Miso, Jesus, don't fall off, please. Because if you fall off, you're gonna scratch the hell out of me trying to stay on. She's like, Mom, it's time for bread. She's like, if I know you enough, you'll go to bed. And you're right. This is what she always does when it's time for bed. She'll just come and annoy the heck out of me. Like, Mom, 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 Mom. It's like Stewie from Family Guy. Mom, 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 Mama, 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 mummy, mummy. What, Stewie? Hi. Like, that's me, so that's what she does. She just sits there, just bugs me. Take me what I want. I want you to go lay down because it's time for bed. It's time for you to let me be your pillow for the night. I'm like, no. I demand my human pillow right now, heathen. Thank you. I'm almost done for the night. I got about 10 minutes left. Take it easy. Good luck with finding a new job. I hope it goes well for you. Always, thank you as always for coming by the stream. Almost done, almost done. I think I'm done with this panel. The real test is when you turn the blue part off and you see how it looks. Oh, I forgot the upper part. Dang it. Dang, I'm just sleepy. Oh, and I gotta put some texture on the stone here. To turn the sketch off, because I generally am done. So what I usually do is I have like my sketch folder. Let me find it. Here we go. And usually what I do is I just block out the part that I don't need. That way I'm not deleting my sketch, I'm just hiding it. Oh, let me put the text in first. Oops. See? Yeah. Oh, I've got my Japanese keyboard on. Dang it. That's good, you're making me want to jump over and make time for my own comic. Hey, that's a good thing though, that's good though. Like, you know, that's what, you know, I like inspiring people. Glad you feel that way. It's my plan for world domination, actually. Let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. One of the many, many reasons why I joined your memberships. Ooh, it makes me feel nice. Yeah, it's man, it's a different world out there, making manga. Oops. I feel like people grossly underestimate, in general, how much work it is. Well, at least they underestimate it until they get neck deep in it, and then they're like, "Oh, this is a lot of work." That definitely happened to me. Maybe I'm just self-projecting. But I felt pretty darn overwhelmed. And I realized, I'm like, I have not planned this very well. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice if it just like unfolded the way it was supposed to? I'm like kind of obsessed with pre-planning. Like that prep stage is like my favorite part. That's one reason why I like storyboards so much. Or like storyboarding and animatics and like pre-production and like all that fun stuff in terms of like animation. It's really fun for me. Lisa, are you snoring? My cat is snoring, you guys. It's a very gentle snore. It was adorable. She woke up. Oh, nope, she's snoring again. Misa, you're so strange. You know, I just realized something. You know, I feel dumb for not recognizing it. What layer is this? Honestly, I think characters is my least favorite part of the process. I'm not gonna lie. I really don't enjoy doing characters at all. Maybe it's just me. It's me, to be honest. necessarily world building that I prefer. I just like drawing environments. To me, drawing the characters is like the worst part of the page. As strange as that sounds. Some people really, really love drawing characters. I am not one of them. Which is funny considering I make manga, isn't it? My chest hurts. Okay, yeah guys, it's time to stop. Yeah, my body's hurting really bad. It's time to stop. I'm gonna have to finish this later because my body's really hurting. Man, all this just hit me out of nowhere. Damn. Oh, jeez. I was fine until like 3 minutes ago. So weird. Man, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Try to push through and finish this a little bit here. So this is what I got done. I worked on this part a little bit earlier, which is like the stairs leading up to it. So I got that done earlier, and this is where I sit with this upper panel. Probably taking a break from it might be helpful, because I'm not sure how I want this toned. I might, I don't know, probably play with the rocks and see how I feel about them. I don't know if I want to like if I want to like erase some of the tone there. Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, I think that'll be cool. No, no. Well, that's yes and no. I do work on my manga full time, but I also have a full-time job, like a day job. So usually in a week, I'll usually put between 40 and 50 hours into my manga, on like an average week. So usually I can get about like 3 to 4 pages done a week, 5 if I really push it. I'm gonna show you guys the whole page at the moment. But I always have worked full time on my manga. I just haven't been paid for it. So that's what I have for now. Oh, let me get rid of this sketch here on this page. I don't really like that anymore. I just have like this little figure. That's a 3D model to help me. So just gotta add that model and then it's done. Getting there, getting there. This was a 3-hour stream, so now I'm up to 9 hours on this page, and this is just on the one on the left. So I put a lot of time into it. I had to completely redraw this panel here. The one with Aro standing here. I had to completely redraw this one, so that's where I lost a lot of time, is re-sketching this one. And then I just spent, I think I spent 2 hours on him, and then I've spent about 4 hours total on these two combined. About 4 to 5 hours. And then I spent another 1 or 2 up here. This one went really fast. So. Yeah, this one will be the troublemaker though. Look at all the detail in this one. Rip. That one's gonna suck. The good news is I put a lot of detail into it already, so it's mostly just gonna be tracing it. So hopefully that one won't take too long. His shawl is a little bit longer in this one, so I just have to change just a few things. But for the most part, this one is just ready to trace, which will be really nice. I'll just be able to trace it as is. Except for up here. I'm going to have to actually draw these out. Because I'm going to need them later, so I'll probably just take the time to actually draw. These are scrolls. They're going to be in some of the later pages. Like this one, and these two, and these. So it would be worth my time to just go ahead and just get the scrolls drawn. That way they're done. Let's see. Do you usually have the layout as a spread? Always. Always. The reason is because the two pages are going to face each other when they're read, and if it's ever printed. And I want to be sure that the pages look good together when I make them. That way I know they'll look good together when they get printed. Because a lot of people tend to only draw one page at a time, and that's okay. But it can kind of save you from some really awkward things if you just get it done now. Yeah, a lot of people don't like backgrounds. A lot of people don't like backgrounds, or they don't enjoy them, which honestly is a way more normal than you think it is. A lot of people don't like drawing backgrounds, and it's understandable. It's really intimidating. Ooh, I like the black background better. It's really intimidating for a lot of people. Yeah. And using a lot of black is also really intimidating for a lot of people for whatever reason. It's spooky, or it's scary to them to use a lot of black. I have a feeling that my manga is going to be very black heavy. That's what we call it, or some people call it ink heavy. It's just lots of black fills. Part of it is because this is a memory, this is a flashback, and so its border is black, the gutters are. But I'm not afraid to have black run into my borders. I mean, it's a memory. It's supposed to be weird and mysterious, and I feel like it kind of makes the manga stand out. It makes the panels just kind of come to life a bit more if there isn't a border. So, because literally these two panels just blur into each other, and I kind of don't mind it, honestly. I don't really mind it that much. Because, I mean, they're read in this order anyway, so it looks fine. I'll probably leave this one white. Or I might tone it just a tiny bit. Nothing too fancy. Just so that the fire stands out. I don't know, I'll think about it. I'll see what I want to do. So, because I've got text I gotta put in there as well. So I'm excited to kind of see how it goes. And then the next page is gonna be pretty fun too. This one's gonna be really fun. Because I get to finally draw a Mott. Like I get to do like a full body. Like I've been doing a bunch of sketches of him on paper just to try to like finalize his design before I get to him. This is a Mott right here. He's sort of like the main bad guy basically. And so I'm really excited to like finally get to like set his like really set him in stone, because I've definitely changed him since this. And that's one thing that I don't do, is I don't like redraw things 50 million times. As far as like sketches and stuff. Oh, I agree. Black and white, like, you know, that's what I prefer to do. Sometimes I feel like I do too much sometimes, though. I feel like sometimes my colors overwhelm people. Which is fine. Oh, I need to draw arrows up going up the stairs. Put them here for right now. I'll fix it later. But that way I know it's in there. Yeah, I love black and white illustrations. Like, that's my thing. Because here's the thing with, like, with black and white, you can't hide your values. You can't hide how strong your lighting is. And a lot of people, like, they think color fixes black and white art. It doesn't. If you have bad values, if you have bad lights and darks, you're not gonna have good ones. You're not gonna have good ones just because you slap color on it. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes color can save liner, but it's very rare. You really have to know what you're doing to, like, make color save line art. So I would love someday to maybe color this. Or maybe color, like, just the first couple pages. I might color the first couple pages. Just so that, like, I have, like, an idea for, like, what color everything is. And they would be just, like, just flat colors. They wouldn't be anything fancy. So, we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed. Let me save this really quick before I lose it like an idiot. I gotta fix Aros's face. Like, his mouth is too small. But that's okay. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you to, is it Samty? How do I say your name so I can make sure that I say it correctly? You know, like, part of my thing is, you know, thanking my members at the end of every stream. So, you know, thank you so much for, Miso, what? Miso? Miso? You gonna say hi? Miso? I got interrupted by my cat. Miso, thank you for saying hi. I don't know if they heard you. Alright. Miso. Alright, I'm coming to bed. She's so silly. Alright, but yeah, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. And thank you for being a subscriber. Well, thank you to all my subscribers and to my members for supporting me directly. It's always really awesome to have that kind of support and to know that there are people who, like, care enough about what I do to, like, invest in me personally. It makes me really, like, humble isn't the word I'm looking for. Yes, Miso. Miso is grabbing my hand, like, come on, Mom, let's go. She's so funny. take it easy. Definitely gonna try my best to stream tomorrow. It's gonna kind of depend on how much energy I have. With convention stuff going on, I'm kind of like pulling like double duty right now. But I'll definitely try to see if we can. I normally don't stream on Fridays, but we'll see. Considering I've been kind of lacking, I honestly just kind of want to see if I could stream every day for like 90 days and just see what happens. So we'll see how it goes. So I'll see you all very soon. Probably definitely sometime this weekend, if not tomorrow. Take it easy, have a wonderful night, and I'll see y'all soon. Ciao.